everyone, Sophia here, My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my kitchen. How about today we make a tarte aux fraises. This is a traditional French tart. Strawberries are in season, so why not? This is a raw strawberry, they're not cooked, on a bed of Creme Patissiere, which is kind of like a custard. The dough is a Pate Sable, which is very much like a shortbread cookie, and I added a strawberry coulis all over it. So let's get started. This is super heavy. It's gotta be 5 pounds. I'm going to show you how to make the dough, which by the way I didn't do very well, but we're gonna make the dough and I'm gonna show you how to make the coulis, how to make the crème pâtissière and assemble it for a delicious tarte aux fraises. So here are the ingredients for the Pate Sable, which is basically like a shortbread type pastry dough. You're going to need 1 egg. That's 125 grams of sugar. All scales will convert to grams from ounces. You need 250 grams of flour. I used the regular white flour. And you need 125 grams of butter. So that's 1 stick and about 1 tablespoon worth of butter, and my butter has been softened. And you need a flavor of your choice. You can do vanilla, you can do rum, or you can do lemon zest. And I just did a little bit of lemon zest. And of course you need salt. So let's get started and make Pate Sable. For the occasion, I'm going to wear Willie's apron. That's the apron he bought me for Christmas. And I think it's super cool. First thing I'm going to do is beat my egg, and then I'll add the equivalent of 1/4 teaspoon worth of salt. Then I'll incorporate the sugar and then I'll beat them together. Added the sugar to my egg, and once you've added your egg and salt to the sugar, you want to beat it until it gets to some kind of like a pale yellow foam. Alright, that'll do it. So I have a wooden spatula and my flour. I'm going to add my lemon zest. Again, if you want to use rum, vanilla, you can. Mix that together. I'm going to do a little well in the middle and incorporate all of my sugar and egg to it and mix it. some point you gotta go at it with your hands. Mix everything together, and then I'll have to put it on the counter and start adding and incorporate my butter to it. So here's my Pate Sable. You see it doesn't stick to fingers. You're supposed to have a bowl like this. So now if I wanted to make the equivalent of shortbread cookies, I would just roll this flat to whatever thickness you want and bake in the oven and have perfect cookies because I have all the ingredients. But this is going to be for a tart. So I'm going to wrap this and put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Here we go. To the fridge it goes. Start by washing my strawberries. Alright, let's do 2.5 packs. These are really big. I'm gonna add baking soda and a little bit of vinegar and water to it. Squish it a lot and wash them. To do here is prepare a coulis. So I'm just gonna take the strawberries that are the worst looking of the bunch, and I'm going to cut them in little pieces, and they're gonna get cooked with sugar just like you would a I'm gonna do, I don't know, 12 maybe of those, just like you would start a jam basically. Add just a tiny bit of water. So added a little bit of water to it. I'm just going to heat them up, let them melt, and add the equivalent of 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, and as it's cooking, I want to mash them. And eventually they'll get all pureed. And And you're gonna let your strawberries cook until you can find them to be soft, you know, because eventually we're gonna put them in the blender. So you don't want chunks. Okay, so they're pretty much done. And what I'm gonna do, oh, it smells delicious. I'm just gonna put that to the side because I'm not using it yet. That's going on top of the tart. So putting them to the side, it's gonna have to seriously cool down before I can add it to the tart. It almost needs to be barely warm, like, yeah, just warm, not super piping hot when you pour it over your tart. So when I come back, we're rolling the dough and we're preparing the tart. So oven at 350. Okay, so when you want to make a tart, you want one of those pie dish or tart dish that has the bottom that comes up. Okay, so that way it's easier to put out. This is by Wilton. It's an 11 by 1 inch or 27.9 by 2.9 centimeters. So let me go get my dough and we'll get started. All right, let's start with buttering generously the bottom. Of my tart. In the oven it goes for 10 minutes. Now remember, Pate Sable is pretty much a cookie dough, right? Oh, it's delicious. Oh, it's so good. I know this raw egg. That's alright. I have this much. Maybe I'll do 2 cookies out of it. Let's try. I think I put too much flour in it, and that's probably why I'm having a hard time. You know what? Let's just eat it like this. It's, like I said, it's pretty much shortbread. Oh, it's so good. I have no business eating this. There's gluten in it. Anyway, 10 minutes. Alright. Next, crème pâtissière. Ingredients for crème pâtissière. You're going to need 1 liter of milk. So the Fairlife that I have right here is 1.5 liters, so it's just about that much worth of milk, and I choose whole milk. You need 6 eggs. 2 of them are going to be full and 4 are just the yolks. You need 125 grams of flour, white flour, 150 grams of white sugar. You need 50 grams of butter, that's half a stick, and you need a little bit of vanilla. You can do coffee flavor, you can do cinnamon, you can do chocolate flavor, whatever. I pick vanilla. So let's start. Step 1, I'm going to heat up my milk. So remember, you need 1 liter of milk. And yes, I'm eyeballing it. And while it heats up, I'm going to take 2 eggs. And then the other ones are just the yolk. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And whisk. And to that, I'm going to add my sugar. And I keep beating it until I get a very light foam. Alright, let me pull the pie out of the oven. Oh, you smell so good! That's gonna have to cool down a bit. Let's not waste you. Oh. Alright, let's start adding the flour little by little. Now, crucial step. I'm going to add the milk. That's still super hot. It's almost still at boiling point, little by little. Okay, here we go. Adding my milk. And now put it back in the pot. Alright, I'm gonna let it cook for 10 minutes, but you have to keep stirring it. Otherwise you get big clumps. I'm gonna add my vanilla too. There we go, that's enough. You see it thicken? Let me reduce my heat a little bit. By the way, if you ever wonder, this is what you fill petit choux and éclair with. That's the cream that goes in an éclair. So if you make it a chocolate, you have a chocolate éclair, coffee éclair. And you probably noticed that there was a point where I had a lot of clumps. That's when you speed up the stirring and you get it smooth again. Look at that. Ooh, that's crème pâtissière right there. Last step is butter. Totally optional. 50 grams of butter, dump it in there, keep stirring. And what the butter does really is give it an extra layer of flavor, and it also smooth it out a little bit further for you, so your cream ends up being really velvety. Alright, this has to cool down a little bit. I have a strawberry coulis that I need to pulse and puree. Do is take my crème pâtissière and put it at the bottom. And I start adding my strawberries. I'm pressing them down. And once that's done, I take my strawberry coulis and I add it in between the strawberries. And here we go, Tarte aux Fraises. So this is it, Tarte aux Fraises. It looks really good and it smells divine. I'm going to call the tribe, and everybody is going to have a slice, including me, because it is Easter after all. Lent is over. Let's treat ourselves. This is amazing when it's in season. I wouldn't do that with strawberries from, you know, December that are imported, that were picked, still green, injected with flavor and scent or whatever. Just strawberries are in season. Do your tarte aux fraises now. And you can do the exact same thing with peaches. You can do the same recipe with pears. You can do it with apples. You can do it with plums, cherries, you name it. So whatever is in season, use the same recipe, different fruit. Let's call the guys.
So far, so good. Haven't gotten to the cream yet.
Yeah, that's gonna be gone by tonight.
You think? Oops. Oh, the dog's gonna get it. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Willie?
Sorry, I have a strawberry in my mouth.
Okay. Oh, the dough is delicious.
It's very good.
You think it's going to be gone by tonight? I think so too. Alright.
I think.
Right.
I think you're out of practice. You need to do another one.
Yeah, alright. Out of 10.
9 or 10.
Okay.
I give it an 8.
Willie, what's missing?
Well, you need to make another one.
Okay, so if I make another one, is a 9?
I think we need a bigger sample to figure out what the actual verdict is.
I think they're just greedy. I'd give it a 9.
9? Okay.
You know what would have been good with this is blueberries. So you have a mix.
Alright. The taste is delicious. The strawberries are not the best strawberries we've ever had. I think they're too big. It probably would be better with smaller strawberries with a little bit more concentrated flavor. But other than that...
Well, you just cut them up.
Yeah.
I prefer them in whole like that.
Okay.
It's delicious. Okay, so everything's been cleaned up. Scott is taking the dog out. Almost half of the tart is gone. And between tonight and more than likely tonight with Edward, you know, having midnight snacks and all, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be gone by tomorrow morning. There will be no tart left. That's how good it is. Could you make it without the custard? Absolutely. You just use that strawberry puree and then you put it at the bottom. That's it. Like if you, for instance, if you're lactose intolerant, Willie had to take a lactate, but I could have made it with lactose-free milk. I could have done that, but there's still the butter, right? So he took a lactate, but if you are really intolerant and you don't want to have the custard, because the custard is heavy, and let's say you don't want that many eggs for whatever reason, or the added sugar, just do the coulis and put it at the bottom, put your strawberries on top, and again, you can slice the strawberries or you can have them whole like this. The tart in France is with the strawberries whole, pointing up, but what they do is that they add a syrup over it that's almost like a jello, like a red jello. So you could also do that, put a red jello over it, cover them, and put that in the fridge, and once it's congealed and all solid, you serve your tart. It's just delicious. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't do cooking videos too often, not because they're difficult to make, but because they take a long time. And when they take a long time, I can't do other videos. So today was Easter. I wanted to have a video that was related to food. Tonight we're celebrating Easter and Scott's birthday, which is actually Tuesday, but Edward's got to go back home. Well, home. Edward has to go back to the dorms. And I'm just making a simple meal. I have a chicken roast that I'm going to prepare now, actually. And that's going to roast in the oven while I'm editing videos and doing things for Patreon. And then we'll have it with just green vegetables, a salad, and some mashed potatoes. And of course, dessert will be the Tarte aux Fraises. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner if you want to see more recipes, French recipes in particular. This is my childhood right here, Tarte aux Fraises. I personally prefer the apricot one. It's the same thing, but with apricots. So can't wait for apricot season and make one and peach and pears and all of the other ones. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye!